I'm attorney Laura Anthony, founding partner of Legal and Compliance, a full-service corporate securities and business transactions law firm. Today is the 5th segment in a multi-part lawcast discussing OTC markets and in particular the different quotation levels and listing criteria for each level. In the prior 4 lawcasts in this series, I discussed the OTCQX marketplace. In this lawcast, I will introduce the OTCQB marketplace. Effective May 1st, 2014, the OTCQB instituted new rules creating qualitative and quantitative standards for quotation, imposing application and annual fees, and opening the OTCQB marketplace to banks and international issuers who trade on qualified foreign exchanges. According to the OTC Markets newsletter, which was just published this week on March 18th, the OTCQB now has 500 verified trading companies under the new listing standards. The OTC Markets is making efforts to establish the OTCQB as America's venture marketplace, analogous to Canada's TSX Venture Exchange and the CDNX Canadian Venture Exchange. To track performance of OTCQB companies, OTC Markets recently launched the OTCQB Composite Index, which has minimum liquidity standards to ensure tradability and which will be rebalanced quarterly to account for the rapidly increasing number of companies verified on the OTCQB. As a broad overview, to be eligible to be quoted on the OTCQB, companies are required to meet a minimum bid price of a penny, submit an application and pay an application and annual fee, submit an OTCQB annual certification confirming the accuracy of the current company profile and providing information on officers, directors, and controlling shareholders. They must also be subject to the SEC reporting obligations and current in their reports other than qualifying foreign companies relying on SEC Rule 12G3-2B and banks that report to their appropriate banking regulator. And those companies must post their reports on the OTC Markets website. Companies that were already quoted on the OTCQB at the time of the institution of the new rules in May 2014 were and are required to meet the new eligibility standards, including the paying of the listing fee, within 120 days of their fiscal year end, starting with fiscal year ends as of March 31st, 2014, in order to stay on the OTCQB. Accordingly, the clock is running on the last batch of existing OTCQB companies to meet the qualification standards to remain trading on this platform. As always, details determine diligence, and if your company has a fiscal year end of November 2014 or later, and you have not yet met the continued eligibility requirements for the OTCQB listing, contact us for assistance to avoid being downgraded to OTC Pink. In the next securities lawcast in this series, I will begin drilling down on the specific eligibility and listing requirements for the OTCQB. I'm securities attorney Laura Anthony, founding partner of Legal and Compliance. Should you have any questions about today's topic, please visit securitieslawblog.com and lawcast.com or contact me directly. Inquiries of a technical nature are always encouraged.